there, I'm Ayla. I'm from Turkey, and I'm an English learner, just like you. This is the story of how I learned to speak English naturally and confidently, not in a classroom, but by living my life in Toronto, Canada. When I first arrived, I was scared, shy, and completely unsure of myself. Now, I speak English every day, with friends, in cafes, at school, even in my dreams. Let me tell you how it all began.
I remember landing in Toronto for the first time. It was cold, snowy, and everything looked so different from Istanbul. People walked quickly, the traffic was fast, and I couldn't understand anyone around me. I moved into a small apartment near my college. My roommate, Maya, was from Mexico. She spoke better English than me, but she told me she was once just as nervous. Buying groceries was hard. The cashier asked, "Do you need a bag?" I froze. I didn't understand. She said it slower, and I nodded, embarrassed. One simple question, but I felt like I failed. One day, I took the subway to school, but the station signs were confusing. The train announcements were fast. I took the wrong train and ended up far from campus. I sat on a bench and felt like crying. I had studied English for years, but real life felt impossible. That night, I remembered what one of my teachers in Izmir had said. To speak a language, first, you must listen. So I started listening every day, on buses, in parks, at coffee shops. I heard people say, "No worries, I'm so tired. Catch you later." I wrote every new phrase in a notebook. One morning, I went to a small cafe. The barista said, "Good morning, what can I get you?" I took a deep breath. "Can I have a green tea, please?" He smiled and said, "Sure, large or small." I froze again, but then I replied, "Small, please." I left the cafe with my tea and a big smile. That was the first time I felt proud of my English. At a bookstore, I picked up a novel. A woman next to me said, "That's a great book." I asked, "Oh, really? What's it about?" She explained, and I thanked her. A full conversation with a stranger. I couldn't believe it. Maya invited me to a student event at the library. There we met Jess, a Canadian volunteer. She asked, "Where are you from?" I said slowly, "I'm from Turkey." Jess smiled. "That's cool. Welcome to Toronto." She introduced us to others. Some spoke perfect English. Some made mistakes, like me. But no one laughed. Everyone was trying. Weeks later, I woke up and thought, "Ugh, I need 5 more minutes." But it wasn't in Turkish. It was in English. I smiled. I had stopped translating in my head. At a sandwich shop, I said, "Can I have a chicken sandwich?" The cashier asked, "White or whole wheat?" I didn't know what she meant. She pointed to the bread and explained. I smiled. "Wheat, please." I made a mistake, but I learned something. One night, I had a dream. I was speaking English, laughing, ordering food, and making jokes. When I woke up, I realized something amazing. The whole dream had been in English. One day, a new student asked me, "Excuse me, do you know where the student center is?" I replied without thinking, "Yes, walk straight and turn left. You'll see it." She smiled. I smiled. I had become the helper now. In class, the teacher asked, "What have you learned since coming to Canada?" I raised my hand. I've learned that English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave and trying every day. Everyone smiled. I wasn't afraid anymore. If you feel nervous, If you're afraid to speak, if you think people will laugh at you, don't stop. Speak anyway. Speak with your accent. Speak with mistakes. Speak with confidence. Because one day, just like me, you'll speak English naturally and feel proud.
If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and comment. Where are you from? What's your English journey like? This is Chat English Daily, where we learn through real-life stories. See you in the next video.